The way we receive information, the way we receive experience is a choice. Perception comes from your state of consciousness, and perception becomes behavior, and collective behavior is what we call human society. They don't want us to know that. Those who are awakening and seeing it because of their state of consciousness. What is going on here? What people in control of their own minds do is they take information and they filter it and process it into a conclusion. What great chunks of the population do today is take the information as a conclusion. When the media say this is what's going on, then that is not information to be processed. That is a conclusion to be absorbed. These are all traits of Wetiko. And how does this work? Wetiko is a band of frequency. It's a very low, dense band of frequency, which resonates to the frequencies of fear and all the emotional, low vibration emotional states around fear, anxiety, depression, resentment, all these low vibrational emotional states. And every thought and every emotion that we feel and we think goes out as a frequency. Fear is a dense, low, slow frequency. When people are in fear and anxiety, they say, oh, I feel so heavy today. Yes, because that's what those low, slow frequencies do to your energetic field. When people feel joy and love, they say, oh, I feel so light today. Yeah, because they're fast frequencies and fast wavelengths. So therefore, they impact upon your field in a completely different way. The point of Wetiko is to draw human consciousness into low vibrational states so that attachment, that assimilation can take place. Wetiko is not going once it's got influence. And what it does, it attaches to the lower levels of the subconscious, just beyond the five senses. It puts its perceptual traits into that subconscious level. And then they filter through to the five sense conscious mind. And at that point, people think they're having their own thoughts, their own emotional reactions, when actually they've been implanted and they're coming through from the subconscious. Wetiko is not going to influence those that it attaches to make them think about questioning anything. And so people simply stop processing information. They become like a software program. They just take downloads from statements and what have you, and it becomes their reality.
The way out is to name it. You have to be able to name it.
Yeah, why? Because Wetiko operates in the human subconscious. Once you make it conscious, it loses its power. It's exactly the same as subliminal advertising and subliminal images. I put a subliminal image in one of my books as an example of this. And it's about 4 plants growing next to each other. And you say to people, there's a subliminal image in that picture. And people look, oh no, I can't see anything. And then you point out that in the white bits between the plants, it clearly says the word. And they go, oh God, I didn't see that. Now here's the point. From that moment on, every time they look at that picture, the subliminal is the first thing they see. Because they've brought it out of the subconscious to the conscious, and therefore it loses its power. It's just a way of saying acknowledge its existence, because it's in the subliminal, the subconscious, that Wetiko operates, because it wants you to believe that your thoughts and your opinions are your thoughts and opinions. It doesn't want you to realize that actually they're being fed to you. They don't want us to know how our perceptions, through a process of attraction, like frequency attraction, our perceptions become our experience. So they don't want us to know that our perceptions create our reality. And the idea is that people are kept in ignorance of how they interact with reality and how they can control reality, how they can start living life instead of life living them in their ignorance of how reality works. The nature of reality, the nature of the I, the eternal nature of life, the fact that this tiny band of frequency that we call the human world. That's what it is. It's a tiny band of frequency, ridiculously narrow, actually, especially the visible part of it, visible light. This is not what the rest of infinity is like. The rest of infinity is dominated by love, by joy, by happiness. Yes, there are pockets like this one. This is not how life is. We are caught in something that is not like the rest of infinite possibility, infinite potential. We shouldn't confuse life per se with life in this little band of frequency we call the world. And talking about this awakening, people look at it, maybe just starting to go through this process, and they say, it's not happening fast enough. Why aren't more people waking up? And you go, you should have been with me in 1990, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96. And you would realize that what's happening now is a revolution of awareness happening before our eyes. And more people are going to be affected. This is a manifestation of the truth vibrations. The more people that open their heart and impact upon this field that connects everything with high vibrational energy is being infused into the field, into this human world field. It is. Everything is a reflection of everything else. Whatever's happening in the realm of consciousness expresses itself in the world of holographic, illusory physical reality. We're all connected. We're all one. We're all fish swimming in the same sea. We are connected by this ocean of consciousness that connects all things. This field of consciousness is all possibility. It's all potential. To celebrate your uniqueness is to celebrate the oneness of everything. We are unique points of attention within that connected awareness, and we need to celebrate that uniqueness of self. You know you're part of a great whole. You know that we're all ultimately each other, but we are unique expressions of it. What transformed my perception, what transformed my life, was a simple transformation of self-identity. The awakening process, what awakens us and what woke me, was not all the minutiae again of the spiritual process. It was a simple thing. I stopped identifying the I with David Icke. David Icke is not the I, it is a name for an experience that my consciousness, true I, is currently having. So David Icke is my experience. I am the consciousness having that experience. And as you expand your self-identity from little me labels of a human life to I am a consciousness, ultimately all consciousness having an experience, that self-identity expansion automatically expands your awareness into deeper and deeper levels of this field. So you access more and more insight, awareness, intuitive knowing. And this is why when people go through the awakening process, they find incredible synchronicity starts to kick into their lives. Their lives start to become an experience of fancy seeing you here. My God, what's the chances of that? Why? Because they've gone from the myopia of 5 sense perception and expanded to access more and more and more of this field of potential and possibility. And thus they are able to manifest that as a life experience in which the possibility and the potential of their life expands. And suddenly they start experiencing things that weren't happening before. For instance, people say, why didn't I see it? It's so obvious. Yeah, but you were in that state before. Of course you're not going to see it. Now you're in this. Now you're going to see it. I've got this synchronicity in my life. Amazing coincidences keep happening. Yes, because you're accessing more and more of potential and possibility in the field. Life stops living you and you start living life. It is so much simpler than people realize. The energy that is love is the balance of all things. Wherever love is infused, balance is manifested. So much trauma that people have in their energy field and have in their memories, an infusion of the energy of love can break up those eddies of distortion in the energetic field that trauma brings and balance it all out. And as it's balanced out, the trauma is also balanced out. Love is the answer. Love is the answer to everything. And it's been lost In the academic mind and the scientific mind, the left brain intellect, which is compared with the consciousness of love, is a village idiot again. Love changes everything. Love is all. You can't get more simple than that, and it just happens to be the truth.